Okay, so I made a video right after my phone interview, but I was a little bit distraught and I didn't really want to talk about it, so it's really crappy. So I figured I'd make a video now about the actual phone interview just to fill you guys in. There are some practice questions on the internet that you can find. I found a bunch on Tumblr on this girl's blog, and they were really helpful. They got me really prepared, but they also freaked me out. But there we go. Okay, that works. Okay, so they were really helpful, but they really freaked me out. And I am here to tell you that in my interview, I mean, I don't know if I got accepted yet, so you might not have to listen to me. But in my interview, I didn't get asked that many questions that were on, like, the practice questions that I found. But it's always good to do the practice questions anyways, because it really helped me prepare for what my answers were. But some of the one question that you do need to go, actually the two questions that you really do need to know are the why you want to be in the program, and be prepared for that question to come at you in any format. Like, she can say you what motivated you to the Disney College program, what turned you on to the Disney College program, how did you learn about it, like any way that is even semi-relevant to why you want to be in the program, take it and run with it. Like, if you have this big huge spiel lined up for why you want to be in the program, give her that answer. Please. The other answer that you really need to know is your top three roles and what you want to do. So, yeah, know your top three roles and have some questions. Like, it's always good to have questions for those roles, and to have questions about your top three roles, because I mean, you don't know everything and not everything is on the website, you know what I mean? So, another thing, I say she, my interviewer was a she. If your interviewer is a guy, whatever, I don't really care. Anyways, if she asks you if you want to do like a certain role and you say yeah, you wouldn't mind, and you get stuck with that role, like, you're gonna get stuck with that role, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Like, you're stuck, there's nothing you can do about it. So be honest. Like, if she says, what about custodial, and you don't want to do custodial, tell her. Like, just tell her. I promise it'll do you good in the long run. A few questions that she asked me was like, am I a fast-paced worker or a slow-paced worker? Am I team-oriented, or do I prefer to work alone? She asked me a few situation questions, like if I had a lot to do and a small amount of time to get it done, how do I do that? And then she said, she asked if I had ever lived with roommates before, and I promise you, living with your best friend is not the same thing. She said another situation question was if you told all of your roommates that you had to get something done and you were working on it, and you told them not to bother you, and one of your roommates kept bothering you, like, how would you handle that? And you only had like a certain amount of time to get it done. How would you handle that? And you just gotta be honest. Like, tell her how you would handle it, you know. And oh, and it's always good to, like, I know that I said I'm kind of a hypocrite. I know that I said that if you don't want a job, like, tell her that you don't want that job, but then go ahead and put like a little, like, maybe, like, I guess the word is disclaimer on it. Like, if you have just tell her that you're willing. I mean, that you're willing to do any job to be a part of the program. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that's the gist of the advice. Mainly, my interview consisted of those questions, a few others that I can't remember, and checking things with my application, making sure everything was right on my application. But then again, my interview, I'm like giving excuses for her. But my interview was at 7 o'clock at night, Florida time, because I live in Florida. So it was 7 o'clock at night, her time too. I could tell that she was tired and that she had been making calls all day and that she just wanted to go home. So that's another piece of advice. Don't schedule your phone interview for 7 o'clock at night. It's a terrible idea. Terrible idea. Another thing, I know that this phone interview is like really important, like you're freaking out about it, but it's actually, once it's all over with, you're like, okay, it wasn't that big of a deal. You know what I mean? But you still have to be very energetic and very enthusiastic, and you have to get the point across that you want this more than anything. You know, because if you play it off like, oh, it's no big deal, I'm going to get in anyways, you're not going to get in. But then again, I'm kind of talking out of my ass right now because I don't know if I got in yet. Let's hope so. I really want in. I really want in. Yeah. Okay. You have yourself a nice night. You got a pretty mouth. It's so awkward.